Hey everyone, it's Jensen again. We're ready to talk a little bit more. NFL playoff week 1 in the books. We're now down to 8 teams left, I think it is. I don't even know. If I do the math, then I can figure it out. But we'll preview those games later in the week. But I do want to touch on a few of the games that I caught. The Raiders and Bengals, that was an entertaining game. I don't know if there's much to learn from it. The Raiders just didn't get it done right at the end to tie it up. So then the Patriots got just destroyed. And then in the other game that I watched, which was the Monday night playoff game between my memory is bad. Watched it yesterday, between the Rams and the Cardinals, which the Cardinals just got destroyed. So some of the games that I was able to watch, not the most entertaining. And, I'm not going to go on an in-depth look into the different games. The ending of the Cowboys-Niners game was controversial, with the ref not being able to, not being able to spot the ball quickly enough for the Cowboys to spike it before the game ended. I didn't see any problem with it after reviewing all the video on it. The Cowboys weren't going to score anyways. So it just removed all doubt. So today, the big talking points yesterday, I should say, the big talking points are, this playoff team lost and they need to scrap everything. And some of the teams are already doing it. Mike Mayock got fired as GM for the Raiders. There's coaches that are interviewing to go to different places. Who knows what will happen completely. But then there's the talk of, Mac Jones for the Patriots, he's not good enough. You should move on from him. Or what was the other? Or Kyler Murray now for the Cardinals, and Cliff Kingsbury. They're just not doing enough. And I've got and they've got trends to back up. I guess Cliff Kingsbury's teams haven't done well in the second half of seasons. They lose most of their games, which, is a disturbing trend. But I also, you want to look and be patient and look at the big picture here. Jones for the Patriots. He is a rookie quarterback starting on the road in Buffalo in 0-degree weather. Not the best conditions to win. Now, granted, he's going to have to deal with cold conditions since he's playing in New England, but let's not judge someone based on one game and say, now they're not going to be good enough. Especially on rookie quarterbacks, let them have room and evaluate more on just the playoffs. I know everyone wants to say, we're basing everything on the playoffs because that's what really matters. Well, sometimes a good quarterback might not have the team around him to win, or a good quarterback might go up against a team that is just better than them. And that's not their fault. Matthew Stafford, for example, QB for the Rams, hadn't won a single playoff game in his career. That doesn't mean he wasn't a good quarterback. It means he was playing for the Detroit Lions, who can't win a playoff game. So don't judge a quarterback on one result, especially just one playoff result. And if they're a rookie, or a Kyler Murray, he had an awful game. He did not look good against the Rams. But having said that, the Rams were in the backfield, every play, it seemed like. He didn't have much of a chance. So can you blame Kyler Murray? I don't know. Can you blame Cliff Kingsbury? obviously they're going to need some blame. I mean, throwing a pick six instead of getting the safety, that was a bad call by Kyler Murray. But you can't judge someone just on one game, or I don't think it's smart to. Take them in a totality and then take it from there. I don't know how, I mean, if your line is getting beat, you're not going to be able to do much. I mean, that's been USC's entire season last season. They were a little better on the offensive line this past season, but not great. But recently, USC's offensive line is like a C. They just open up. It's Moses parting the sea, and running backs getting the ball or having to dodge tacklers behind the line of scrimmage to even get a yard. You're not going to win games if that's happening. So don't blame the quarterback. Don't blame the running back if that's happening. Maybe coaching isn't up to snuff. Maybe you do need to look at that. But for Arizona and Cliff Kingsbury, they had an 11-3 team, then they won 6 games, and now 11 games. It looks like they're trending in the right direction. Kyler Murray, they didn't end the season well, but they had some injuries. Granted, everyone gets injuries, but they had some injuries to some key guys that slowed down their offense, and so they weren't as dynamic. So don't throw away everything just because you lose one game. And don't kick for the Patriots. Don't kick Mac Jones out because of one game against a superior team in the Bills. No one thought the Patriots were as good as the Bills. The only thing the Patriots had was a better head coach. But you can only do so much if the other players are better than you. Anyways, that is my thoughts on the NFL playoff week 1. So we'll see what the new games. I'll review them or preview them, preview them coming up later. Some other news going on. We've got Troy Terry. We'll do one little quick hockey note. Troy Terry did get into the All-Star game as the last man voted in. I like to think it was because I was voting for him 10 times a day. So it was obviously me. I influenced, stacked that ballot box. But no, he deserved it. And so I'm happy he's in. Granted, it's an all-star game, but whatever. He deserved it. Other stuff going on. College basketball is in the full swing of things. USC, I definitely think it's been affected by their COVID layoff. They haven't looked quite right ever since. They dropped 2 games this past week, Stanford and Oregon. And they also dropped from 5 to, I think, 16 in the rankings. And to be honest, I think that's about more where they should be ranked. I don't think they were a top 5 team in the country. But hopefully they can flip things around and get things corrected. They need to be stronger on the boards and whatnot. Gonzaga's back at number 1, although arguably Auburn probably should be. Some voter voted them like 9. I don't know. Voting in these polls is so ridiculous. And sometimes this goes for basketball, football, all of these. People have agendas and they need to be weeded out. But whatever. Let's see. What else have we got? An interesting little tidbit here. So hockey has like 100% vaccination. I'm going back to COVID. It's the big thing. Everyone's got the Omicron variant. And so, so I'll touch on it again. Hockey's got everyone vaccinated, 100%. And they've got about 75% of the league has gotten COVID just in the past month or two. Different times and whatnot. So they've been able to play most of the games, but 75% of the league, despite being completely vaccinated. Now, what is the difference between hockey and, let's say, the playoff teams in college football and the playoff teams in the NFL? You can't tell me that hockey is just loose with their COVID regulations and football isn't. Something tells me the NFL and college football in their playoff were not really testing, or they were making sure that those tests would always come back negative. Because at the rate it's going around, everyone is getting it, which I think is the right way to do things. Well, I think the right way, like I've said a million times already, is we just need to be done testing. No more testing. And let's move on. And that's what it should be. And I think that's what the NFL is doing, because not a single player was on COVID protocol in all of the NFL. Yeah, the tests are rigged if they are testing. So, anyways, I don't think we'll see a problem in the NFL with COVID because of that. I think they're rigged, which I'm all for. You might as well just drop it all and leave all the pretense of testing. Let's see, what else have we got going on in sports? I think that's the big stuff that I wanted to touch on. The just not giving up on players. We've still got the transfer window. It cracks me up. The teams and people are ranking these teams in college football for next season. No one even knows what the teams are. There's so much turnover. Everyone is in the transfer portal, it seems like. So we're still waiting at USC for Caleb Williams news. Hopefully that comes soon. We got a wide receiver committed today, the son of Jerry Rice, transferring from Colorado over. We'll see how he does. Again, it's a mystery. No one knows what the teams are even going to be like. So anyways, hopefully you're all doing good. Have it so good. Bye.